Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Gottlieb, and I am here today to answer your questions about being a chartered financial analyst. What made you confident that this was the career you wanted to pursue? Well, that's a really good question, and the answer to that is that at first, I wasn't. I mentioned before that I started off life as a lawyer, and then I went into the financial side of the world in 2000. And I actually did a lot of advising high net worth individuals, and I did some trading. So it still really wasn't quite hitting the note, so to speak. And I happened to see an advert in 2009 for somebody who they basically wanted someone to come in and teach the CFA curriculum. So I said, that could be interesting. I get to stand in front of a class and talk, and I'm pretty good about doing that. So I answered the ad, and they hired me, and the rest, as they say, is history. So that was in 2009. I've been doing this ever since. So I think it sometimes can take you a little bit of time until you find what it is that really hits that passion for you. All right, so it's okay. All right, somebody once told me it's not where you start, it's where you end up. And so as long as you can be honest with yourself and say, well, I'm on this path, but I don't really like it, then it's okay to basically change course midstream. What are the best strategies for long-term wealth management? I would love to meet the person who actually asked that question, because I think that is just a fascinating question. And so I will tell you this from the perspective, if I was talking to you as a high school student, the best way that you build long-term wealth is that you save. All right, saving is key. And something that I read something somewhere once that it was kind of positioned in terms of like, well, how much does that Starbucks really cost you? Right, and so if you think about it, it's like you spend $4 on a latte. Well, okay, that's $4 out of your pocket right now. But the other thing that you have to think about is that, well, if you kept that $4 and you saved it and you invested it in 20 years, in 30 years, like how much would that $4 be worth? So if you do the math on that, you could find that it actually would be worth a decent amount of money, maybe a few $100s, right? And so a few $100s from a $4 investment, it's like, do I need that Starbucks? And so that is how people long-term are going to be building the wealth when they're in a situation where they're not going to inherit a lot of money, right? And most of us are not. So start saving, do it regularly, do it often, do it now. And I think at the end of the period, what we're talking about, if it's long enough, you're going to look at that account and you say, wow, I never even knew I'd be able to get that much money. But that is what I would recommend. Do you like working with your clients? Yeah, I do. Like with anything else, some of them I like more than others. Some of them are just people that you naturally gravitate towards. I have a personal affinity with, right? So it's easy for me to talk to them. It's easy for me to just pick up the phone, have a laugh with them. There are other clients that may be more difficult, but then you always have to remember that you never know really what's going on behind the scenes for somebody else. They may not be difficult because they're having a problem with you. There might be something else going on in their particular existence at that particular point in time where they may just not really be that friendly. So what I've learned on this is that, and I buttressed by the fact that I live mostly in New York, is that you can't take anything personally. And it's just like the big trick, I think, to succeeding in anything is like, do you have the ability to just let things kind of go off your back? And if you do, I think that puts you in really good stead to deal with all kinds of situations that life is going to throw at you. How do you balance short-term market fluctuations with long-term investment strategies to deliver the most value to clients? Wow, that is a very sophisticated question. Now, everyone's going to have a different answer to this, and it just depends on what your perspective is. I really don't focus very much on the short term. And the reason is that while I do trading for my own personal accounts, I'm not a trader as far as what my investment philosophy is. I am more of a long-term guy because at the end of the day, I'm going to have a pot of money to do the things that I want to do when I'm no longer able to work. And that's just going to take perseverance and time. The short term, yeah, it's good. It's fun, when you make a short-term win. But you certainly don't want to rest your entire financial success on being able to do well in the short term. And the reason is that let me put it to you this way. There was a study that I saw once that even very, very good traders end up losing about 3 times as many trades as they win. All right, so you wonder, it's like, oh, okay, well, that kind of ratio, how do they make any money? And the reason is that even short-term traders are very, very disciplined about what they do. And so they never let a small loss turn into a big loss. All right, so what they'll do, maybe have 3 times as many losses. Those losses are going to be pretty small, and they're going to let the winners just keep running. And so that's how they end up making that kind of money. But for somebody who has a longer time horizon, I don't care about what's happening today or tomorrow or the next day. It's like I want to have them set up so that in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, they'll be able to pay college tuition for their kids. They'll be able to go on nicer vacations. They'll be able to have a retirement where they don't have to stress about, are we going to be able to survive it? Right? So those are the things that I really want people to focus on. I have a lot more here, and I'd love to answer them, but that's all the time we have in this session. Hopefully, I'll be able to do this some other time. I'll be able to answer more of these questions. But in the meantime, there are other videos that we have about what careers in finance are all about. Have a look. I think you'll get some good information for that. But until then, happy studying.